start with questions.
All right. Just continue the spring grind. There's a lot of back and forth right now, offensively, defensively. I think we're again continuing to introduce more situations. We did a lot of 2-minute work today, which was the first time, and thought defensively we handled it well. We didn't handle it as well as we needed to offensively. So a lot of work to be done there. But you definitely see improvement throughout. There's no question about it. You see a lot of improvement throughout. A lot of guys. We have a lot of guys in a few positions that are taking a lot of reps, maybe even a few more reps than you would script. That's the nature of the roster right now. But the flip side of it is you got a lot of guys that are getting better quickly. I mean, the improvement, even from 1 to 8 has been what it needs to be. So if we keep taking those steps, it'll be a very productive spring. But proud of the effort so far. Guys are working. They've been physical practices. We've laid it out in front of them, and they have generally attacked it very well. So we've got to keep it up.
What did you think of the scrimmage on Tuesday?
We did a little bit of back and forth. We did a little bit of kind of normal practicing and then got into some scrimmaging. But I thought the guys handled it pretty well. It was good to get, obviously, just some live tackling situations. I mean, it's not a whole lot different for the O-line, but especially for your ball carriers, especially for any defensive player as far as tackling. We had times where we tackled at a high level, times where we didn't. Times when we ran the ball at a high level and broke some tackles and didn't. I mean, when you sit in my position, some's going to be good, some's not going to be good when you have competition. But it was good to see these guys, kind of in a way like take the training wheels off. Like no coaches on the field, just officials out there. They're out there working. There's the feel of the real game. You're marking off penalties. They feel the impact of their good plays. They feel the impact of their mistakes. So it was great simulation. A lot of good positive work.
Caleb talked on Tuesday a little bit about scrambling less and running maybe a little bit less. Is that something you guys have talked to him about, just heading into year 2, maybe sitting in the pocket a little bit longer?
Just want to do it effectively. I mean, that's, I don't want to harness those guys, but if people's plan when Caleb plays is to try to keep him in the pocket, then he's got to be able to beat that, and he's fully capable of beating that. And so that's always part of progression of a young quarterback. Most guys, you've got to learn more and more of when to stay in there and when not to. And so I think he's getting a feel for that. He's pushing himself on it. I didn't think it was something he, in his past, has been bad at, but it's like a lot of areas, it's something he can certainly get better at. And as a quarterback, people are going to try to play you all kinds of different ways. And if you've got ways to beat anything they throw at you, you become pretty tough.
In regards to Caleb, what steps do you like to see a quarterback take in year 2 in your offense?
It's so different. Everybody starts at a different place. I think each guy kind of has his individual goals and things that you really highlight to say, like, this has to get better. And then I think there's the natural things for everybody of understanding of the offense, understanding of defenses that you're seeing. Game situations, I think, is a big deal for a young quarterback as they progress, and understanding how their decisions can change based in different situations. I think learning to manage your emotions. It's, no matter how big a high school you play at, big a level you play at before you come to a place like USC, it's different. You cannot simulate how that feels until you actually do it. And so, like anything, the more you do it, the more you learn to manage it and stay in the moment and just execute.
Halfway through camp, what do you think you've accomplished so far, and what realistically do you still need to do for this to be a successful camp?
We got to have a great back half. I mean, this is, second half of spring. I mean, this is where average teams kind of start to fall off and great teams start to separate themselves. And so we've got a ton of work to do. I'm proud of what we've done halfway through. Improvements that we would hope to make at this point, I think, have shown. But, we just don't sit back and look at like, all right, we want to accomplish all this through 15. It's each day, and it's each one, and are we taking the steps each day to do that? And then at the end, the culmination will be what you want it to be if you took care of each day individually. And so that's been our mindset. I think we've handled the first half pretty well up to this point. But if we've truly made that improvement, it ought to show in the second half in every aspect, whether it's something mental, whether it's something physical, whether it's effort, whether it's energy, understanding of situations. Every bit of it ought to be better this second half.
It seems like the H-back has kind of a unique role in your offense. How would you describe the importance of that role?
It's a great position. It's a position we've used, as probably as uniquely as anybody in college football over the last several years, and a lot of it's dependent on guys that you have in the room, skill sets. We've had a lot of different skill sets in the past. We've got some really intriguing skill sets here, and it's one you can tailor it to do so many things with. I mean, it's probably the most versatile position on the field, and when you've got a great room there, it's a huge advantage. And so we're certainly in the process of evaluating the room that we have right now, and we're getting a good look at some of those guys. We've got a couple guys, Follow and Lake that haven't been able to go yet, so we'll be excited to get a look at them when the time comes and get a great feel for what that room is and what all it can do for our offense. But we've certainly been better when that room's been really good.
What's your assessment of the defensive front right now, the linebackers, defensive line?
Yeah, linebackers, I think have done a good job. There's been some real improvement. I would say Shane and Raylan have been probably our two most consistent guys there, through the first half of spring. They've really done a nice job. Rajon has really improved. He was one of our guys that got gold plated today and thought it was earned. He's really worked hard and starting to grow up and show some really nice things. So we're proud of him. I mean, Chris has done some good things. Julian has done some good things. I mean, it's a good tough room. It is. They're improving. We throw a lot at our linebackers, so it's a good test for them, and it's been good competition. The front, there's some depth there. There is. There's some quality depth. I mean, I think, Thule, Nick, some of those guys are kind of as expected. Good players, leaders. I think Romello has come in and done a really nice job for us. Peely's done a nice job. Stanley's done a nice job. Tyrone Tellini and Earl, the two transfers, have certainly been noticeable, especially the second half of our section of spring up to this point. So I think you got a lot of guys that have shown that they can be a factor. Now it's who's going to step up and become a starter, who's going to step up and command those reps and take the next step. But a lot that's very promising right now.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
Great.